Afternoon and good evening from me. How is everyone? I hope everyone is doing fine. Good morning to you. Yes, those in America and Canada. And those of you who do not know me, meeting me for the first time, welcome. Welcome to this Zoom seminar where the topic is why do we get sick despite following everything they tell us to do? Wow. We are so obedient, right? We follow everything, we exercise, we walk, we sweat, we eat the right stuff, we avoid eating certain food that is recommended by the of famous organizations in the world, namely in the United States, because we look up to these organizations. But why is heart diseases, stroke, cancer, diabetes, and many, many more on the rise? Something must be wrong. Hello. My name is Dr. James Ong. I am not a medical doctor. I'm a PhD in complementary medicine from Sri Lanka. And prior to that, I was an attorney, and prior to that, yes, I did work in a chartered accounting firm called KPMG in Melbourne. I graduated from Monash University in Australia many, many years ago because, don't let this face fool you. I'm 60 years old. Well, hello. Welcome, everyone. And yeah, I guess everyone would like to be healthy, would like to stay young, and generally have a good life, isn't it? And we should, all of us should. So if we are not in tip-top condition, right, even though we've been doing the right thing, so what is the right thing, or what are the right things? Well, exercise regularly, control your diet, low carbs, less sugar, no sugar, I don't know, depending on whom you're listening to, and all kinds of stuff, right? Avoid cholesterol food. What else? Many, many things, isn't it? We've been told that we have to do. We test ourselves and we have elevated cholesterol. Yeah, I think that's the right word, elevated cholesterol. Then we should be obedient and take the statin drugs, right? We've also been told that if you have high blood, well, depending on what your age group is, as you get older, it's naturally going to happen. Wow. We just have to accept that we're going to have high blood pressure as we get older, right, guys? It's like, okay. So we have been kind of like, conditioned, mind conditioned, a lot of stuff. But why then? Why then you have so many of these diseases? Seems like it's not getting better, isn't it? If drugs, a lot of people are taking statin drugs. Why are heart, excuse me, why are heart diseases on the rise? Shouldn't it be going down? Have you all ever pondered about that? Right? And this thing called the big C. Do you know that before 1920 or 1920s, before that era, it's quite rare. In fact, before 1920s, many things or diseases are rare. You don't have a lot of heart diseases, stroke. You don't have diabetes that many. You don't have obesity. You don't have Alzheimer, dementia that many. You don't have a lot of stuff, okay? If you're a medical practitioner, those areas that I just mentioned, you're not going to make it. Unlike today, if you specialize in, you're an oncologist or you're, wow, highly rewarding, isn't it? So, what's happening, guys? What's happening? Let's take a look. Let's study it together, shall we? Okay, let's study it together. Something is not right. And let me just go on with what I know, and you can be the judge. All right, I'm merely presenting the facts. I'm merely presenting the data, and I'm also showing you all the credible sources that I am extracting these data. Okay, so first, CNBC. The third leading cause of death in the United States, most doctors don't want you to know about. A recent Johns Hopkins study. Is Johns Hopkins credible? Yes. World famous, right? Claims more than 250,000 people in the US die every year from medical errors. Other reports claim the members to be as high as 440,000. Wow, wow, wow. Jaw-dropping, right? Scary, isn't it? Medical errors are the third leading cause of death after heart disease and cancer. I guess when you talk about heart disease, well, I guess they mean heart and stroke, heart disease. And the second one is cancer. And the third, wow, medical doctors. Wow. If it is true in the United States, what about all these developing countries and other countries in Europe and everywhere else? Do you think they deviate very far from that? Or do you think maybe it's somewhere close to that? Well, you be the judge, all right? So let's now talk about what's happening. Well, as I mentioned before 1920s, hardly any cases of this heart, stroke, cancer, and many of these chronic diseases. So what happened? It must be something that happened regardless of whether you are in Canada or the United States or in New Zealand or in some Asian country or Middle East or Europe. Okay? It doesn't matter where you are because why? The number one and the number two are pretty much the same everywhere. And going down, you have diabetes. I mean, they're pretty much the same. So something that we have all been consuming or exposed to, they're the same ingredient, causing all the same problems across the globe. Would you agree? Is that a fair assumption to make? Well, if it is, then let's look at the culprit, shall we? Let's look at what is causing us to be sick. It's not just Dr. James Ong telling you, I have proof and evidence, okay? So, okay, so this is a story. 1911 to 1923, this company called Crisco, all right, this article is taken from their website, crisco.com, and it says in 1911, Crisco, the first ever shortening made entirely of vegetable oil, was born, clad in pristine white paper, right, overwrap. Crisco was seen as more pure, right, an economical alternative to animal fat and butter. So it looks clean, pure, cheaper compared to before that. Processes are what? Animal fats and butter. So now they came out with this vegetable oil. It's not vegetable oil. It's actually seeds oil. Seeds, different kinds of seeds. Sunflower, soya bean, canola, you name it. They are all seeds, okay? Before the 20th century, right? 1800s, whatever, before reaching 1900 or 1901. Well, do you know that this so-called vegetable oil, or correctly termed seeds oil, they they don't exist as something that or consume. They were used as lubricants. Yeah, scary, isn't it? So we have been consuming lubricants. Scary? Well, let's go deeper, right? So this seed oil or vegetable oil, they go rancid. So they have to go through a process of hydrogenation, extremely high heat, maybe around 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and bleaching and chemical processes. Okay? So by the time you consume it, it's going to oxidize your body. Now, anything unnatural that enters our body is going to cause inflammation. Can we agree? Anything which is unnatural. And today, you walk to the supermarket and you see on the shelves, all the expiry dates are like super, super long. Are they natural, guys? And on top of that, what about the household cleaner and everything? Everything is chemical. All right, you use it at home, you smell it, it's airborne, it's everywhere. Killing me softly. Right? This is crazy, guys. We are being misled and we are being slowly every day of our lives. God has given us this amazing body, but we are filling it up with poison every day without even knowing it. Something is wrong. Is wrong. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Then we have the American Heart Association. Haha, very interesting. The American Heart Association. So when they introduced this vegetable seed oil, right, in the 1920s, something happened. By the 1930s, stroke, heart, related diseases, numero uno, number one. Now, they didn't blame it on this vegetable oil, but in fact, they blame it on animal fats. And they say, if your cholesterol is high, you should not eat any animal food which is containing, I don't know, if you are in my age group or older, can you remember in the 70s, in the 80s, right? Where even when we want to eat the egg, yeah, the egg yolk contains high cholesterol. We are so afraid, and some people I know, they only eat egg white. They don't eat the egg yolk. We have been totally fooled, misled, right? Our body manufactures cholesterol because our body needs cholesterol. Okay? Our brain needs cholesterol. Our body cannot function without cholesterol. And here we are saying, don't eat these animal fats that contain cholesterol. Take these statin drugs that stops our liver, our body from cholesterol. God created us in such a way that our body is going to produce cholesterol means it's good for us. Are you with me? Right? If we have a gallbladder, it's good for you. If we have a tonsil, it's good for you. God will not put an organ there if it's not good for you. Can we agree on that? So, what's happening, guys? You have surgeons and medical doctors who are so happy to cut you up. Haha. That's another thing. That's another big topic there. I'm not sure if I want to get into that tonight, but I've often, been going in that direction to show that this whole thing is a conspiracy. And that's why we are all getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And the worst thing is when we get sick, we run to them. Oh, we get sick, we go where? Hospital. They're waiting for us. Okay, and behind this, that's the pharmaceutical selling their drugs. Wow. On the pretext of healing us, something that we need, relieving us. Guys, there's no drug that can heal anyone, not even one. It can relieve, but in the process, it will create more diseases in the future. Not even one drug that can heal you. Because if there is, they will not market it. They don't want to heal you. Okay? Let's continue. So, the American Heart Association, which is the most funded association in the world. Wow, that's a bold statement to make, huh? The American Heart Association is one of the most funded association. They're rich. Funded by whom? Funded by the big pharma. They are rich, okay? And what do they have to say? You know, guys, I've been a lawyer for so many years. If you want to find the culprit, there is a saying, follow the money. Follow the money and it will lead you to the right. So let's take a look at what this organization had to say. And this is from their website, all right, heart.org. And in 1961, guys, in 1961, it's very small. I'll read it out to you. Substitute vegetable oils and polyunsaturated fats for saturated fats. Wow. Saturated fats are animal fats. And they are saying substitute it with polyunsaturated fats, which is vegetable oil. Wow. What they're saying, if you want to live healthily without heart problem, you must avoid animal fat, consume vegetable oil, lubricant. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing, guys? And this went on all the way, and you can go to their website, all the way until now, until today, until this very moment. So, in 1961, when the American Heart Association endorses vegetable oil as healthy, guess what? The explosion of chronic diseases. Explosion. Okay, I'm going to share an article, scientific article from a medical journal with you very shortly to substantiate my case. All right. So, apart, look, all the supermarkets today will look something like this. The question is, which oil should we buy? It's not about good, better, best. It's about bad, worse, worst. I forgot my English and superlative, all right? It's bad, worse, worst. There's no good here, guys. Okay, later I'll show you the chart of, well, amongst the bad, which is the best, okay? And I think you probably know already, right? You probably know, some of you may have guessed. Now, guys, this is really, really scary thing because it affects the whole, and they blame it on carbohydrates. Okay, they're saying, oh, carbohydrates, that's why you have having heart problem, this problem, and and then they blame it on sugar, right? So they blame, and then they research, some people research in the year around 2000, the sugar intake, right, in the world has actually dropped per person, has actually dropped around the year 2000 until now. Carbohydrates also has dropped. But what has continued to increase is the consumption of vegetable oil and heart, stroke, cancer, diabetes, eye problem, obesity, Alzheimer, dementia, you name it, all the chronic diseases is like way, way too many. Isn't it crazy? Right? And then there's this thing that I learned recently about statin drugs. So those people who take statin drugs, there's of course side effects, and then it lowers your testosterone, so the men cannot get it up, and then they go see their doctor, and then the doctor say, oh, it's normal when you're 40s, 50s, blah blah blah, because that's the age that they normally start on the statin drugs, and then they give them antidepressant drugs. Wow, that's why statin drugs, which is cholesterol lowering drugs, the antidepressant drugs, they are like top 5 in the world for consumption. All right. The whole world, people are generally quite depressed. They are quite depressed. They are like accepting all this bad stuff happening to them without knowing what to do, because when they consult the medical doctors, and these medical doctors, instead of helping them, is playing along with the pharmaceutical companies and telling them, oh, it's normal, your blood pressure is right, that's normal at this age, and not offering any cure. Okay, so that's why we are all getting sick. Isn't it a sad situation? Right, let's look at the signs, okay, of what I have just said. Let's look at the signs. So this is the National Institutes of Health, a US government website, PubMed, and here it says this, okay, 2023 July. Linoleic acid, a narrative review of the effects of increased intake in standard American diet and associations with chronic disease. Okay, let's take a look. First of all, linoleic acid, or some people pronounce as linoleic acid, is actually omega-6. And it is found in this seed oil. It's just to what degree. Okay, some has more, some has less. Now, what is this linoleic acid? Okay, let's take a look. Let's call it LA, all right? While LA is considered to be an essential fatty acid, okay, what is essential? Body needs it, but your body needs only a very small amount, okay? Very small amount. And they coined the word essential fatty acid, and support health when consumed in modest amounts. All right, guys, you read it? Modest amounts. An excessive intake of LA leads to the formation of oxidized linoleic acid metabolites. So, excessive intake of LA causes what? Read on. Impairments in mitochondrial function. Wow. Impairment. That means it's not going to perform efficiently, impaired, right? Mitochondrial function contains mitochondria. That is like the powerhouse, right? The mitochondria is where the ATP and the ADP, and that's how your cell works. So, if your mitochondrial function has been compromised, guys, this is our phone, all right? If you don't charge your battery, can it work? If your cells, this is your battery pack, your cells are not in its optimal condition, are you going to be healthy? The answer is no. All right? The answer is no. So, look at this. Let's read on. Right? So, impairment in mitochondrial function through suboptimal cardiolipin composition and likely contributes to many chronic diseases that became an epidemic in the 20th century. What is 20th century? 1901 until 1999. So when was this vegetable oil or seed oil or AKA lubricant introduced as consumption for us? Around 1920s, isn't it? Wow. This is scientific, guys. And whose prevalence continues to increase. It's not getting less, it's getting more. Look at the historical intake patterns and current sources. Prior to the 20th century, the average intake was under 2% of the total daily caloric intake. The biological optimal range is approximately 1 to 2%. Guys, the biological optimal range, 1 to 2%. All right. But the current LA consumption is over 25% of the total calorie intake. My. How many times is that? Even if we don't understand maths, at least we know if it is based on 1% in the past, now it's 25%, we are talking about a 25-fold increment. Guys, it's no longer essential. Are you with me? It's no longer. This is crazy, guys. The authorities are allowing that to happen to us. Shouldn't they be protecting us? Hello? Is this essential fatty acids? No, it's not essential. Look, even if you take vitamin C and you take it by excessive, it's going to kill you, right? It's going to be toxic. And if you take LA, which is a lubricant, wow, 25 folds more than what you should. It's going to kill us. And my word, it has. It's killing us slowly, killing us softly. It's killing us slowly. My job here is to awaken you. The rest is up to you to take it away, what I have said, for you to research further so that you and your family can live healthily, happily ever after. All right? The thing is this, the whole system is to benefit them. Follow the money trail, right? All right. So let's talk about this third leading cause of death. Who are they? The medical doctors. Aren't they smart people? Oh, yeah. You have to be smart to enter medical school, am I right? Anywhere in the world, it's the same. Okay? Now, if I am a pharmaceutical company, I look at the medical school as my ground for my marketing executives, isn't it? Follow the money. Guys, look around wherever country you're from. If you're in the US, look at Harvard, MIT, Yale, and all the Ivy League. How much donation the medical schools have been receiving from these pharmaceutical companies. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you as it is. You probably don't even think about it, right? And a good way to bribe them, because whatever the medical schools say or endorse is gospel truth. Am I right? It's treated as gospel truth. So all these professors, they put them on the payroll as consultants. Oh, they're gonna kill me for that. All right, it's okay. I'm 60 years old. I had a good life. Let me feel my peace and tell you guys they can do whatever they want to do with me. It's okay. All right. It's a mafia out there, really. It's crazy. Now, that is the medical school. Then, when these marketing executives graduate, they go to the hospital. Guess what? The pharmaceutical boys, they know that these guys are smart. So you know what? They work them 70-hour shift per week, 80-hour shift. Come on, guys, it's real, all right? 90 hours, they sleep in a hospital, they got beds for them. The truth, in case you don't know, all right? So for the first few years in their career, they have no time to think. Yeah. Yeah, medical doctors have no time to think about what's happening, right? And then they go through their internship and blah, blah, blah. And the first few years and the next few years, then they get them to specialize. Oh, I'm a cardiologist. Oh, I'm an oncologist. Oh, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. Oh, I'm an ophthalmologist. They divide and rule. Hello? They divide and rule, just like the British. Oh, they must have picked up something from the British, right? Divide and rule. Pretty smart, isn't it? And then, are you all enjoying this, guys? I am, okay? I am. Because it's not fair. Wake up. Wake up. Okay? It's time to wake up. You know, when they divide and rule, and these specialists, they're highly rewarded. They can charge higher by being a so-called specialist. Okay? So when you have somebody who is sick, they go to a hospital, they get so many different departments because the doctors, they don't know everything. They are so specialized, they only know certain things. You see the problem there? Our body should be viewed in holistic totality. Okay? In traditional Chinese medicine, it is seen as holistic. But in the Western medicine, they chop, 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 they separate everything. Wow. Divide and rule. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So, LA consumption of seed oils in the US. Before 1866, the Western diet consisted mainly of animal fats. All right, let's move on a bit further. In the Eastern societies, they use cold-pressed fats such as coconut and palm oil. Now, listen to this. Vegetable and seed oils that are regularly consumed today did not exist prior to the late 1800s. I repeat, did not exist prior to the 1800s. My. A fundamental change. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I know the top one is a bit dark, but I got this from the NIH. I just copy paste screenshot. And look at the oils containing linoleic acid, LA. Safflower oil, 70%, going down a bit. Sunflower oil, is that common? Yeah, 68%. Corn oil, very common. Corn oil, 54%. And going down, soya bean, peanut oil, 52%. Canola oil, wow, 19%. Is canola common? Yeah, right? And health buff, they look at olive oil, avocado oil, and now lard. People know that lard is actually healthier. Palm oil, they are around 10%. Okay, around 10%. You look further down, you will see butter and coconut oil. Butter and coconut oil is about 2%. It's not good, better, best, all right? It's bad, worst, worst. So the bad is butter and coconut oil. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Anyway, so if you have to eat oil, go for butter and coconut oil. Now, The next time you go to a restaurant, ask the waiter to ask the chef, what oil do you use? You know what? It's usually the cheapest oil. Because a restaurant needs to earn, right? It's a commercial restaurant. It's not gonna give you olive oil, right? It's they're probably gonna use canola oil, right? Or soybean oil or sunflower oil. Are you with me? And guess what? When they fry your chicken, they're not gonna drain it away. They're gonna fry it one time, two times, and several times. Wow. No wonder we are all dying. Oh my. Terrible, isn't it? Just to shift a little bit, all right? Do you know that they even frighten us, right, with the cholesterol part? And they also frighten us about the salt. You guys have high blood pressure because you take too much salt. Oh, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. No, 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 no. A Tel Aviv university from Israel did a study on 500,000 people, and they have found that those people who consume 3 times the amount of FDA recommended salt intake are actually healthier, and they don't have heart and stroke and blah blah blah. So, and their blood pressure is lower. So you see, they try to fool us. And so if you have hypertension, you go see your doctor and they give you this hypertension pill, and the good doctor will say, don't take too much salt. Wow. It's like they give you statin drug, don't take food with cholesterol. You have to wake up. You have to wake up for your sake and for your family's sake. Okay? So, if you look at this summary, right? The summary, associations between LA intake and chronic disease. Guys, I'm not saying this. This is a paper published in the medical journal, and a famous one. Here it says, oxidative stress, tissue damage, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Wow, heavy stuff. From excess linoleic acid is not only responsible, that means it's not exhaustive. That means they're saying the excessive LA intake is responsible for this, and that, but more. That's what they're saying. Like some kind of a double negative, right? In English, is not only responsible for cardiovascular disease. That means it does affect cardiovascular. Are you with me? Alzheimer's onset. Wow. But additional chronic diseases, including, they're admitting now, cancer, dementia, obesity, and diabetes are also associated with oxidized metabolites. Sue me. They can't sue me because I am telling you a story based on scientific facts. Are you with me? Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's all stay healthy, okay? Forget about the medical mafia, the whole industry. If there is a drug or there is a cure for cancer, they will not market it. They will buy up the company and disband that company. They've done it many times. Are you with me? So, if you have a medical device that can cure cancer, guess what? Very difficult, if not, it will never be registered with the FDA anywhere in the world. Show me a medical device that can cure cancer. Zero. There is none. Now, do you believe me that there is a they don't want to heal you. They don't want to cure you. Do you know that a lot of people have hypertension and high blood, right? A simple solution is just have a regular higher intake of what they recommended of salt. And salt is so cheap. Okay, maybe you want to go for Himalaya salt, fine. You want to go for Celtic salt, fine, pay a little bit more premium, but that's okay. It's still cheaper than all the medical bills, isn't it? Right? But no, they don't want to. In fact, they frighten you. They say, no, no, don't take salt. It's going to cause hypertension. Wow, that's not true. Okay. So guys, I'm going to introduce to you this acupuncture thing. And this is electroacupuncture. And this electroacupuncture, of course, is based on acupuncture. Acupuncture is 3,000 years old. Look at this. Right? It's 3,000 years old. And this is the NIH, all right? But why is something 3,000 years old being considered alternative? Aha, told you, conspiracy, right? Because they make it difficult. They make it difficult. If you know this lemon, right, it's going to be a powerful antioxidant that can cure cancer. For example, they will require you to make therapeutic claim, to go through some stringent testing, but nobody's going to do that because why? You can find lemon everywhere, right? So who's going to spend millions on a clinical trial? Are you with me? But let's assume that you have something. There's no way you can claim therapeutic. Why? Because who is going to do it? Are you going to spend millions to prove that this orange or this lemon or this whatever is able to cure this and that? No. But the pharmaceutical companies, they have patents. And that patent right will protect them, depending on the country, 12 years, 15 years. After the completion of the patent right, then it becomes generic drug. Are you with me? Which India is very good at, right? Copying. But they have to wait for the patent to be completed before they can make it into a generic drug. So they spend millions, but they get protected for umpteen years, right? So that's okay. So they control the medical schools, they hospitals, and they control the FDA. But that's not all. Guess what? They also control the WHO. Wow. That's why acupuncture is considered alternative. Are you all enjoying this? So is Ayurveda. So is so many out there, traditional healing. They are all alternative. Come on. Western medicine is only what? 100, 200 years, the most. Acupuncture is 3,000 years old. Are you telling me that something that survived for 3,000 years, used by palaces and whatever, doesn't work? Come on. So that's why I have to tell you all that story, conspiracy, so that you can understand why. Now, this is the Yellow Emperor's Classic on Medicine. You can buy from Amazon if you want to have a good read. And electroacupuncture was introduced around 1930s, 1940s, right? In Germany, in Japan, and yeah. What is electroacupuncture? Well, they poke needles and then they tie a string at the end of the needle and they generate current into that needle, and it's supposed to be more potent. So what is acupuncture? Acupuncture is based on the belief by traditional Chinese medicine that we are made of energy and our body functions through meridians, energy pathways. So our heart meridian, our liver will have the liver meridian, and it goes on. Okay. So when these meridians linked to a particular organ is blocked. Aha. All right, let me pull it out, this one. So this is the thing. It's not even a needle, it's roundish. It's not invasive, all right? Now, our body has all the points, okay? Front and back, all the points. Of course, we have it on our feet, our body, our head, right? But guys, you're not gonna go down to your feet and, you're not gonna poke your back or you're not gonna poke your, right? So this is convenient, isn't it? Right? Yeah, some feet are smelly, isn't it? Right? So this is clean, to be clean anyway. So you go, you map it, all right? You map it, and then you feel, that kind of feeling. It's because you can switch from level 1 to level 15. Level 1 being the lowest, level 15 being the highest. This machine can diagnose, it can detect. So when you put it on a detect mode, you touch it, and if there is a strong sensation, there is a blockage. Because this works in terms of engineering, this is how it works. The current goes through it, right? The electromagnetic wave goes through your meridian, but if your meridian is blocked, a lot will bounce back. And that's why you feel the sensation. If you touch meridian and crystal clear, everything will go through, no bounce back, you don't feel anything at all. Congratulations. You're healthy for your heart, all right? However, if you feel vibration, that's because it's onset, it's not that severe, but there is a mild blockage. So a little bit will bounce back, so you feel the vibration, but you don't feel the pain. Are you with me? So this device cannot lie. It will interpret. It's an interpreter, actually. It will interpret your body's condition. It does not know how to lie. And it is 100% accurate. Now, isn't that exciting? Guys, it's better than cure. So if you know you have a problem early, you can do something about it, isn't it? And this wonderful device, you can switch it to, from detect, you can switch it to relief. And when you have, let's say, your heart point and it's painful, right? Then you switch it to relief and you treat it. And you can treat it 10 to 15 minutes on that point. In total, various combination of points, not more than 1 hour, and then you stop. And you can do that every day. You can do that twice a day, all right? And when you are able to unblock, you go from level 1 to level 15. But today, if you're brand new and you try on level 15, you're going to jump off the sunroof, the lady there. You're going to jump off your sunroof. It's going to hurt you. So you can't, okay? Not from the very beginning, but you slowly, progressively improve your situation. That means you're unblocking the blockages so you can go higher level to level. Are you with me? So you know you are healing, isn't it? So some of you, I know you're on level 5, level 6, level 7, level 8. Wow, congratulations. Isn't it amazing? But from day one, you started using it. Most of you are on level 2, some are level 3, some even on level 1 is already feeling a pain, right? So it's very interesting, and it doesn't stop there. Okay, it doesn't stop there. Why? Let me go on now. What is the science? Let me quickly cover the science behind it. Look, it says here very clearly, electroacupuncture promotes system-dependent release of mesenchymal stem cells. Wow, electroacupuncture can help promote release of your body's mesenchymal stem cells. I can assume that you guys heard all about stem cells, so I don't have to be, elaborating it here because a lot of people know what stem cells do. And so it can replace your damaged cells. And this is from the Stem Cells Journal, credible. Now, this is another credible journal, Nature. Some say it's the most credible medical journal in the world. And it says this, electroacupuncture activates neurons to switch off inflammation. Wow. Whether it's the vegetable oil, whether it's the pollutants, whether it's the stress or whatever, our body is severely inflamed. Don't you agree? We are consuming so much chemical. We are consuming, we are eating, we are stressed. Our whole body is inflamed. And electroacupuncture, according to the #1 medical journal, Nature, is saying that electroacupuncture activates neurons to switch off inflammation. That is huge. So those of you having sciatica pain, arthritic pain, whatever pain, pain is what? Inflammation, right? There's also a host of other things that you don't feel the pain, but it's also caused by inflammation, but we won't have to go into that. So when you are able to switch off the inflammation in your body, you're on your way to healing, isn't it? Right? So let's move on. Let's move on. Now, this NIH, acupuncture enhances generation of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide improves our circulatory system. So when your circulatory system is improved, your cells can get the nutrients. Are you with me? Okay. So this is amazing. Now, moving on. #4, acupuncture and its ability to restore and maintain immune homeostasis. Our immune system, sometimes it goes crazy because of what? The toxins and everything, emotional stress, right? So some people, if it is underperforming, then you may have cancer. If it is overreactive, then your body is kind of like attacking itself. You may have lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and stuff like that, okay? So what acupuncture do is restore and maintain immune homeostasis. It can balance. Chinese, we call it yin and yang homeostasis, all right? We cover that in the workshop, yin and yang. All right, so moving on. These are all, right, medical conditions that day to day everyone is experiencing. Let's take a look again, right? So many, right? Pain here, pain there, high blood pressure, period pain, whatever. So many. Guys, this is a medical device. This is not just a toy. This is not just an electronic device made in China. This is a medical device made in Taiwan. That Taiwan, in terms of electronic, is high up there in the world in terms of its technology. Don't you agree? If you can raise your hand, I'm sure you would, right? So we are not dealing with something which doesn't work. We're dealing with a technology which is a medical device, meaning it has gone through clinical trial, endorsed by doctors, endorsed by hospital before it gets submitted to the FDA for approval. If you just have a device of whatever kind of device made in China, right? And then it only has a CE to go to Europe because it's an electronic device, then good luck to you. Okay? If you just want to buy from Alibaba, good luck to you. This is an FDA approved. And to top it up, this is a US approved medical device, electroacupuncture medical device, one and only in the world. Numero uno, #1, one and only. All right. There is no #2 because why? It costed $2 million to get the US FDA, and it took them 6.5 years. It was a very painful process, but that's done. That's the past. It's been done for us. Okay, so we are the beneficiary. Moving on. So, like all medical devices, we have a disclaimer. People who are using a pacemaker, do not use. People who are pregnant, do not use. Children under 3 years of age, do not use. Patients with malignant tumors, do not use because this device was not registered as a cancer curing device. So we cannot claim, okay? So we have to put it there. Patient with hemorrhagic tendencies, patient with tuberculosis, and chronic alcoholic. Basically, we are saying, if you're drunk, don't use. Okay, so this is a chart, front and back. So many points. So many points. Now, ladies, if you look at the thumb and below the thumb, there is this breast tumor. 1 out of 8 ladies in America will have breast, not tumor, breast cancer. 1 out of 8. So alarmingly high rate. Now, if it is 1 out of 8 in US, what do you think in Asia or Africa? I think the rate will probably be higher, isn't it? In the Philippines, where I live right now, it is the number one in terms of cancer for women, breast cancer. Um, every year, I think there's like almost close to 20,000 women being diagnosed with breast cancer in the Philippines. It's so sad, isn't it? But if you have this device and you touch on the point, the breast tumor, you can check for yourself, for your lady friends, right? And if like, wow, then you know. Well, you can either go for a mammogram or you can continue treating yourself until the pain disappears. Isn't it wonderful? So this is such an amazing tool, isn't it? Really? Prevention is better than cure. So let's move on. Now, this is the ear clips, and it's called the transcutaneous auricular vagus nerve stimulation. If I ask you stem cells, everyone will raise their hands. All right. But if I say, do you know what is the vagus nerve? They don't know, right? So let me explain to you what is the vagus nerve. All right. The vagus nerve is this. Look at the nerves. There are actually 80,000 nerves. 80,000 nerves all over your body. Wow. If there are 80,000 nerves, don't you think they are important? Definitely, isn't it? So if you look at your heart as the hardware, your kidneys, your liver, your spleen, your everything, these are hardware, then your nerves are your software. If you have a computer without the software, can it work? Cannot. And if your software has been infected by a virus, can it work? Cannot. So something happened to our vagus. It was infected by this virus called COVID-19. Do you all know? I'm sure you do, right? So COVID-19 has damaged our vagus nerve. Yes, I'm going to prove to you scientifically. So what is the vagus nerve? The vagus nerve is an integral part of your autonomic nervous system. So you don't need a conscious effort and it works. In other words, your heart will know how to pump. Okay? You cannot tell your heart, or maybe if you're in deep meditation, I don't know, some guru, but you cannot tell your heart how to beat. It will beat by itself. You cannot consume food and say, digest slowly. No, right? It will just digest by itself. So, guys, you know what I'm trying to tell you? The vagus nerve control. So, people who develop Parkinson, they cannot control. It's a tremor, isn't it? Some the hand, some the leg, right? And people with dementia, they cannot link the memory, recall, right? People who had a stroke, they cannot move their arm or legs because why? There's no communication. Okay. So when you talk about this nerve, it's very important. Without your nerves, you cannot even speak. You cannot, so many things, guys. 80,000 nerves. Think about it. I don't want to frighten you, but look on the right. Your vagus nerve, they do all these things, regulating your heart rate, taste, speech, skin sensation, muscle sensation, immune response, respiratory rate, blood pressure. Oh, guys, I haven't even finished. Don't you think all the things that I've said are very important? They are. Mucus production, saliva production, digestion, frequency of urination, mood, etc., etc., and it goes on, right? Now, we may have symptoms. Look at the left-hand side. These are the symptoms: acid reflux, abdominal pain, bloating, lack of a gag reflex, difficulty swallowing, dizziness, fainting, hoarse voice, wheezing, unexplained weight loss, loss of appetite, feeling full after eating very little food, nausea, vomiting, chronic mood issues, and even Alzheimer. You may develop a combination of symptoms and you don't even realize that you have a vagus nerve problem. You know why? because there is no hospital in the world that has a medical scanner or device or whatever to diagnose your vagus nerve problem. Sad. They developed this MRI, CT scan, ultrasound, blah, blah, blah. They're all for specific organs, the major ones, but they forgot about the nerves, right? So when you have problems with all these various symptoms, you go see the doctor, they check your heart, maybe either a CT scan or angiogram. Oh, your heart is fine. There's nothing wrong with your heart. But then you keep complaining of irregular heartbeat and so many problems, right? And then you complain about other things and other issues, and you keep going back, and they keep billing you, and telling you nothing is wrong with you, nothing is wrong. Maybe there's something wrong with you, your mind. Maybe you need to see a psychiatrist. That's the problem with people of this world. When they ego, they don't blame themselves, they blame you. And doctors are the smartest people on the planet. They will never blame themselves. They will always blame you, right? So the poor patient with all these various symptoms, already depressed, anxiety, so many issues and uncomfortable and whatever. And then the good doctor will say, maybe you're psycho. Wow. How sad and crazy, right? This is, by the way, it's real, okay? I've encountered that from some people who contacted me because they saw my meeting and they saw that, hey, my husband has a few of these. Wow. You see? My husband has a few of these and he went to see several doctors and they actually think that he's cuckoo. How sad, right? Vagus nerve is very, very important, okay? Now, these clips, right? These clips, right? This vagus nerve, they call it the TAVNS, vagus nerve stimulator. Actually, it's good. You just clip it to your ears and look, it can improve your memory recall, guys. Wow. Not only one, two. See? Improves the human working memory performance. So people with dementia, there is hope, right? The thing about this Western medicine, Western science is that when you go see the doctor, you've got diabetes, they say there's no cure. And you go and tell them about this, whatever problem, and they keep giving you this drug, and then it gets stronger and stronger and stronger until like all your organs is like giving up, right? So it's terrible. They don't heal you. And then here, within our small little community that we started in April, we have already collected so many testimonies that I think will baffle any doctor around the world because they believe there is no cure. How come we have a cure? Right? So, anyway, I'm enjoying this because I'm helping a lot of people and it's really great. All right. So this COVID-19, I'll just quickly go through, has affected our vagus nerve. See, by causing the inflammation, COVID-19, and causing a condition called dysautonomia. Dysautonomia, to sum it up, is just a disorder that disrupts the autonomic body processes. Okay? So it affects your breathing, your heart, everything. Okay? What the vagus nerve does, because it has been damaged. And this, I think this is Swedish. So they also found that there is this thing called cytokine storm, right? Cytokine per se is not bad, but when too much is being produced, it's called cytokine storm, okay? And that is bad because why? Too much inflammation can damage tissue and lead to all these conditions, autoimmune diseases, metabolic disorders, cancer, sepsis. So it's a very severe thing, okay? So COVID-19 has damaged the vagus nerve, even Forbes.com. Guys, more than half the world's population, I believe, has COVID. And the other problem is this. What about those people who have this? You know what this is? You know what this is? We're not even supposed to say it. Can you imagine? They gag you, right? See how they control you, they mindset you, And then what? When you have this and you have a problem, you cannot even claim from them. Wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And guess what? Who? The government is their partner because the government allows them. Before you sign something that you cannot sue them. Oh my goodness. Aren't they supposed to protect us, guys? You see? They may kill me tomorrow for exposing them. Guys, a lot of people who had this, they suddenly are hypertensive. They have rapid heartbeat, develop Parkinson's disease tremor. Some have brain fog. Some had stroke. I'm not making this up, am I? I'm telling the truth, right? You probably know of friends who died because of this. My cousin died. I have friends who died. I have people who cycle a lot, super healthy, died. Imagine I used to climb hills, okay? I like hiking, and there are hikers who suddenly, out of the blues, they die. Wow. So we are sick. Now you know why. It's either the lubricant that kills you, or this that kills you, or there are many ways to be killed. Wow, it's no fun, guys. So what are you to protect yourself? In our community, all of us spend about 1 hour a day reversing the vagus nerve problem. Okay? So moving on. Moving on. Now, monkeypox. Some people are frightened by monkeypox, but at least it's not airborne, right? But more viruses are probably coming. Don't you agree? More viruses are on its way. Sooner or later, it's coming. So the mask is not going to protect you. If they ask us to get more, it's not going to protect you, right? Your immune system is going to protect you. Don't you agree? So we have to be healthy. We have to boost our immune system so that in future, if there are more that comes our way, we can live through it. All right. So this is Taiwan technology established in 1999. And good news, they are going to be listed in NASDAQ next year. Okay. They're going to be listed in NASDAQ. They qualify for listing and they are from Taiwan. They will be listed next year. And this is the owner, Mr. Terry Chiang, beside me. And I have never seen a company with so many certifications as a medical device in Taiwan, China, USA, Korea, Japan, ISO 13485 from UK, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Russia, Australia, Germany, and even WHO knows. And there are so many testimonies now. I have in the link tree in the chat. Please copy paste it and then watch it. All right. It's very, very amazing. So here you can see from all kinds of problems, right? All kinds of, wow, from various kinds of problems. I've never seen a company with so many testimonies, really. Even constipation, ladies, a lot of ladies have constipation problem, all right? No more heart problem, heart, vertigo, insomnia, and cancer. Yeah, we have uterine cancer gone. Okay. I-Doc saved my life from acute heart attack. Wow. Diabetes type 2, no more. And it goes on, right? Bipolar, herniated disc, neuropathy, Parkinson's disease, trigger finger, cataract, gone. After 40 years, onset Parkinson, and it goes on. And this thing is something that I want to share with you because the founder, the chairman, came to Manila August 15. All right. So on August 16, we had a function. And we also had a medical mission in the hospital, Chuchi Hospital in Manila. And another 10 minutes, I want to wrap this up. This is another medical device called the D178. And this medical device is also from the same factory, same manufacturer from Taiwan. And this works in a different way because this machine is a medical registered in Taiwan for more than 10 years now. It's going to balance your blood pH. So what is wrong with our blood pH? You may ask, right? Our blood pH normally should be pH 7.35 to 7.45. But because of the inflammation, I kept saying the inflammation, and I found a medical journal to show you, all right? Because of the inflammation. Now, this is how it looks like. Sorry, before that, again, disclaimer, people with pacemaker, electronic heart lung devices cannot use. People with metal object in their body. But if you have titanium, we found that you can use, all right? Just the stents in your heart, you cannot use. People with malignant tumors, again, it wasn't registered as a cancer curing device. People recover from surgery, pregnant women, children below 3 years old. It comes in a box, and two people can experience this wonderful product, and you can have like 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 2 hour setting, and you don't feel anything, guys. You don't feel anything. You don't feel any. So how do you know that it is turned on? You don't feel it. You don't feel the heat. There's no heat on the legs, on the feet, nothing, right? And how do you know it is turned on? Well, it uses the principle of negative ion. So using the charge, the electromagnetic wave produces negative ion in your body and makes your blood pH normal, alkaline. It's amazing. It's just the negative ion working. And we know negative ion is abundant in where? By the beach, on the grass, in the waterfall, in the jungle, right? But the problem with us today, live, even in our house, we wear shoes, we wear slippers, we wear yeah, this rubber thing is no good, all right? This rubber shoes, rubber is no good because it's preventing us from recharging from planet Earth. If we can, they call it grounding. If we can do grounding regularly, you're gonna be healthy because that's the way God has given us this planet for us to heal ourselves, all right? But then we don't do that. So you need this because you don't do it regularly. All right, so here the negative ion goes through your body and is negatively charged. Your entire body is negatively charged. So here I have a something that I just show you, all right? You can see that the tissue paper is positively charged. Hi, enjoying, huh?
I'm enjoying the machine.
Yeah.
Take this opportunity.
Do you feel anything at all?
No.
Totally nothing, huh?
Yeah, no.
But look at the, wow, standing, yeah? See? Oh, amazing.
Tissue standing.
Tissue standing.
That's a positive.
See, negative and positive. So that's how you can tell that it is turned on. So all the time, everywhere I go, I will use this tissue paper to show them. So they're quite amazed, all right? And we have seen quite amazing results so far because uh, we like to collect what's within our community, okay? Because it's more powerful that way. Everyone I know, and I interview them and I let them speak, from their heart, what happened to them. And yeah, I like it that way. So we try not to rely on what's out there because this product has been around for more than 10 years already in Taiwan. Believe you me, they have loads already, right? So why is our blood pH not 7.35 to 7.45? Why is our blood pH acidic? Okay, the thing is this, guys, look, I found this again from the National Institutes of Health. All right, here they look at acidosis. Acidosis is when your blood is more towards acidic, it's called acidosis. All right, if it's more alkaline, then it's, yeah, there's another term for it. And here, all right, if you look at this highlighted area, but I want you to look at one line, one sentence above it. Local acidification may develop also during acute and chronic inflammation, guys. So acute or chronic inflammation, acidicity in your blood, all right? During inflammation, the drop in pH means towards 7 or less than 7, right? It's a result of infiltration and activation of inflammatory cells in the tissue, which leads to increased energy and oxygen demand, accelerated glucose consumption via glycolysis, and thus increased lactic acid secretion. So basically, they're saying that acute or chronic inflammation causes your pH to drop. I'm not the one saying it. So because of that, we need to turn it the other direction, right? So we need to increase the blood pH back to normal. And guys, this is a medical device registered in Taiwan. And in Taiwan, Taiwan hospitals, they are one of the highly respectable ones in this region, okay, in Asia. And because they have to go through the stringent test, and it's been out for 10 years, because no one complained. If anyone were to complain, they would have been taken out. Are you with me? So the fact that it's been around for more than 10 years, and in their brochure, it says that it's going to balance your blood pH. So if, when you submit to the FDA, everything has to be approved. Even the box designed to the brochure and every word is scrutinized carefully. So you cannot make false claim. All right. If you're just manufacturing it from China and you're just in an electronics factory, oh, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about because medical device. Are you with me? So be careful. All right. This is a medical device registered with FDA. Every word counts. It has been scrutinized and approved. Okay. So that is the difference between a medical device and an electronic device. All right. So this is exciting, but let me just finish off by telling you this. So our blood is not 7.35 to 7.45, is moving towards acidic. And when it becomes acidic, cancer starts to form, tumor starts to form, all right? And this is in accordance with what Dr. Otto Heinrich Warburg, 1931 Nobel Prize awardee, all right? He was awarded this Nobel Prize for the root cause of cancer. And here he says, cancerous tissues are acidic, whereas healthy tissues are alkaline. All normal cells have an absolute requirement for oxygen, but cancer cells can live without oxygen, a rule without exception. And look at this line. Deprive a cell 35% of its oxygen for just 48 hours, 2 days, and it may become cancerous. A Nobel Prize winner. That counts. That counts. I don't care what the pharmaceutical industry thinks of this guy, but this guy is a Nobel Prize winner. Of course, they don't like him because they're selling what? Chemotherapy, right? So you can imagine they ridicule him, mock him, they call it the Warburg effect, blah, 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 They get a few specialist doctor, professor to, no, I'm not buying any of this, right? This guy is a Nobel winner. And he won the Nobel Prize because specifically he found the cure for cancer. Wow, powerful. So I have proven to you that because of inflammation, our blood is no longer, is moving towards acidic, isn't it? Because of inflammation. So we need to restore our health by restoring our blood pH. If your home is in a bad neighborhood, you won't feel good. If your house is untidy, you won't feel at peace. Am I right? Imagine if your cells live in a blood environment which is unhealthy, you think your cells will be healthy? Right? If you want to change your DNA and your cells, you better make them the best. All right, you better give them the best environment so that they can function efficiently. So with that, thank you so much for your patience. Wow, 1 hour and 20 minutes. A little bit. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy this and stay healthy. All right, question time.
Recording stopped.
You can unmute yourself and ask questions related to the topic. And I hope you enjoy this, okay? Some people love me, some people hate me. Anyway, it's okay. I'm speaking my piece, right? It's just to educate you guys. And you can go and research yourself, all right? Because knowledge is power, right? Don't believe everything they tell you. They don't believe, because what they have is what got us to this problem today. All of us are sick. All of us. Not even one is super healthy. Everyone is sick. Am I right?
Yeah.
And that's very sad, isn't it? Okay. Any question? Anyone? No?
Yeah, I
Yes,
have a
I do have a
question.
question, please.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead. Yeah. Unmute yourself and just go ahead. Introduce yourself and ask the
Okay.
question.
My name is Chamberlain Owen from Nigeria.
Oh,
And
hi.
I just, hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm great. Yeah.
So yeah. So more for me is the usage of the two equipment, the I-Doc and
Mm-hmm.
the D178. Um, I I'm wondering, can you use both of them at the same time? Maybe I'm sitting on the D178. Can I do the acupuncture as well? Because I'm talking about using it for children with autism. You know that we do different therapies like biomed and stuff
Yes.
amongst parents in Nigeria trying to recover their children. Like my
Yes.
kids have been on the spectrum, and
Yes.
they've almost have recovered them. But there's still some issues that you can identify that you want them to overcome as a
Yes.
challenge. My I'm talking my children did not have speech,
Yeah.
severe autism and all of that. I've
Yeah.
recovered him to a certain point where he functions by himself. He's in the class, regular school, and all of that. But there's still, one or two minor issues which I identify as a father and also somebody who does consultation for a lot of parents in Nigeria. So I'm interested in the I-Doc because of this pH balance in the body, and also recognizing that kids, a lot of them with this inflammation, have
Yeah.
problems with their vagus nerve.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and
the eye-doc,
yeah.
to address the autism, even ADHD, a lot of these
Mhm.
problems caused by the neuronal function and the nerves. I
Exactly.
think I think the ear clips are fantastic. They are fabulous. And
Right.
to use the D178 together, I wouldn't advise it. I mean, not at the same time, but you can finish off with one treatment and then go on to another one,
Mhm.
but not
Okay.
not at the same time. All right. Um,
All right.
so uh, of course, these two medical devices have different functionality. The eye-doc, of course, the vagus nerve, it can help so many problems already. And then it can also unblock all the blockages in different organs. But the D178, as
Mhm.
you put it, you like it because it can convert our blood pH to normal, balanced blood pH. And that is, to me, very important, because without a normal blood pH, how can your body, your cells function normally? No way, right? So are medical devices from the same manufacturer, but both work in a different manner to help people with all kinds of problems. Now, the other thing that we have found out is the D178, the one with the feed thing, the negative ion, is also good for inflammation. Because when your blood pH is normalized or balanced, the inflammation kind of disappears. And this inflammation is also caused by oxidative stress, oxidation, right? So when you
Right.
have this negative ion, it's also to neutralize the free radicals, isn't it? Right? So it will
Yeah.
neutralize these free radicals and it gets rid of the inflammation really, really fast. And we have people who like just 30 minutes or one thing with all kinds of pain from knee joints to whatever, and they claim that they're okay after that, you know. So I
Yeah.
noticed that. I noticed that a lot. It gets rid of the inflammation. And when Mr. Terry Chiang was in Manila, we talked because I was driving him everywhere, and he told me that it's not just for the big C, all right? It's not just for that or
Right.
tumor, but it's also very
Mhm.
good for inflammation. Very good. The
Yeah.
D178.
Yeah. Yeah. So because most of the kids, their inflammation occurs in the gut. For
Oh,
autistic kids. Oh yes,
yeah,
gut
yeah.
inflammation. Yeah.
The gut
So
is really well, loads of parasites and whatnot. I mean,
yeah.
everyone needs to go for a good detox, really. And then you will see a lot of stuff that comes out. Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I ordered mine, but is there a way I can do a course like certification on how to properly use it and get a
Yeah,
certification for
there
the
is
use of the equipment?
once a month we do run a course around the last one just went by where I teach you
Okay.
about the D178 and the I-Doc, and I go a bit deeper and talk about traditional Chinese medicine, about yin and yang, about the five elements, about how we look at the intercausal relationship between organs. For example, like everything comes in
Mm,
pairs for Chinese medicine. In other words, your liver can
mhm.
also affect your gallbladder, that kind of, and your stomach and your
Yeah.
spleen. So people who have
Mhm.
all these problems, I also teach them about the emotions that created these problems. For example, if you're angry all the time, it's going to affect your liver. And then if you're
Mhm.
having anxiety, it's going to affect your heart. If you're like living in fear, it's going to affect your kidney and so on. All right. So all these things, if you have that knowledge, then you try to skip all these emotion and throw them away. Right? So you look at life differently and then you're healthier. Okay? Because a lot of things, I think, yeah, a lot of people have overthinking. You know the problem with people
Yeah.
overthinking and
Oh,
overthinking too. All right?
I'm guilty.
Everyone, me, every
Oh,
okay. So
it's-
as long as we understand why we get sick,
Mhm.
then we avoid, isn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
about understanding. So yeah, knowledge is power.
Thank you. Thank you, Doc.
Sorry, can I ask, like, were you introduced by Reverend Allen or who who introduced you to our meeting? You're from Nigeria, right? Because
Yes. So I belong to a lot of groups, autism groups, and different groups, health groups, because I also, know that what treats autistic kids also treats cancer patients.
so
Actually,
I'm
a lot
just
of
curious
the treatments.
who who
So,
invited who
so what
invited.
happened was I I came across it popped out on my um what do you call it, on my
Group
YouTube,
chat,
Facebook
your group chat or
thing. So my group chat. Then
Mhm.
at one point, I chatted with a lady called Susan.
Mhm.
I had a chat with her. Then I didn't have the money to pay for the equipment. Then I said, I looked at the autism, the headquarters. If they, something came up in my mind, and then I typed D170, and it pulled up the headquarters.
Okay.
Then it pulled up the Facebook page. Then I started chatting again. I said, okay, let me just go ahead and just purchase the equipment and see what happens. So,
Okay.
yeah, I had a chat with Susan in the past, but nothing. I just said, well. this is beyond me right now. I have a lot of different medical, whatever we use for the food bath cleanse, hydrogen therapy for kids, you know, and inhalation, different things that I use with children for autism. So I'm always looking at stuff, and
Looking out for
the
something that
algorithm,
works.
yes, the algorithm eventually will bring up something. I look at it. If it works, fine. I will keep a tab on it and keep following. If it doesn't, I just move away from it. So that's what
All right.
really happens. Yeah, I've
Okay.
been doing this for 7 years, and
All right.
my kids are recovered and helping other
So join our
people.
Buy Direct Aculife group, Facebook group, and then you can get all the information you want. Okay. We have a
Okay, no
Susan.
problem.
Maybe Susan can guide you there. All right. So nice talking to
Okay,
you. Okay. Yes.
thank you
Anyone else?
very much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Please unmute yourself and yeah, you have to unmute yourself and ask. Mm-hmm. Can't hear you, anyone. All right. Anyone who wants to speak, please unmute yourself. You have to unmute and then
Hi, Dr. James. Good morning.
good morning to
My
you.
name is Kellen.
Yes, I know
I was
you.
supposed to be four. I just have a question regarding to the medical device certificate. If I can get, I'm planning to go to Brazil
Okay.
December this year,
Yep.
and I'm going to get heart in a hospital and
All right.
government. I have connection to the Brazilian government. Is
Okay.
there would be a possibility to get this device as
All
a
right.
medical certification in Brazil?
Yes, certainly you can, but you have to find an investor or someone who is willing to put up the money to buy 100 units of I-Doc and become our country stockist. Okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
a few units of D178 and our country stockist. Taiwan will furnish you with all the paperwork that you need to register with your government in Brazil.
Oh, great. And now
Yes.
I have another question. What is it going to say? Oh, I know there is a code for the government, right? When you cross the border, it's
Yeah.
always stop and alfândega because they would charge you the tax or
Yes, yes. Well, I think when your product is noticeable, they will identify a code for you as in a product, and then every time it goes through the custom, they can just pull it out, right? It's like a reference.
Exactly.
Yeah. But when you're still small, they probably don't notice you yet. But when you start like importing, in bigger amounts, then they will notice you and they may put a code in their system to label you as this classification or whatever, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to do it really big in any country, any one of you, it's good to have a country stockist. All right. And the
Okay.
requirement, yeah, we can talk about it in the chat. All right.
Yes, because I'm work with Barbara. Barbara is our stocklist in Alberta,
Yeah, yeah,
and she shipped me very fast. It came in less than a week in my machine.
yeah,
And my son, I got my son's testimony.
yeah.
It
Amazing,
was
isn't it?
amazing. We did
Yeah,
in the car. I say, son,
yeah.
you start coughing. I say, ooh. And we did the car 50 minutes. And then he says, Mom, put it up. I say, this is 9 right now. Put it up, put it all the way higher. I say, really? 50. He got the 50. I say, okay, I'm feeling
Oh,
now. after he went inside, I said, okay, son, go rest.
Mm.
And then I start talking to my older son outside in front of their house, father's house. And then Sunday, Kelv came out with a backpack in the garage, getting his bike. And I said, where are you going? Even the brother said, where are you going? He said,
Oh,
I'm
he's
going to play
okay.
basketball.
He's okay already. Amazing.
He was okay. And he says, Mom, I feel more energetic. So,
Wow.
you know what? For a child, and he's very spectacle.
Mm.
He's the Canadian side, more like spectacle thing. His father is very, you know, by the government. Everything goes by the government. And I told him, Kelvin, you better believe that your mother is a wise, smart lady, and she's connected with the best of the best in this world, which is the Aculife company that I'm very proud to be part of.
Yeah.
And I am going crazy. I'm going to show people there is a way, there
Yeah.
is a healing way, a natural way, because
Yeah.
God is amazing. God
Yeah.
is there for us.
And you can use it to heal yourself. DIY. Do it yourself.
I already did. I have the best sleeping ever. More
Wow.
energy. My mind, it's just amazing. I did it today for 15 minutes, the ear
It
for
makes
my
you relaxed.
vagus.
You feel well when you put on the ear clips. Do you feel relaxed?
I feel relaxed. I feel calm. I feel like peace. It's so amazing. And
Yeah.
I did on my fibroids. I have a fibroid. So
Yeah,
I
you
got
told
to
me.
and I even know it's right here on the wrist, my uterus. I have a uterine fibroid.
Yeah, I'm waiting to interview you on that.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be looking forward to meet you in person one day.
Yeah, hopefully one day.
Coming to Brazil with a big, with like
Yeah,
a,
you never know.
you
You
know,
never know. Yeah.
if I can connect with, you know, say, let's bring a nice event.
But
Aculife,
you're going to Sao Paulo, isn't it? Sao Paulo, right?
yes, São Paulo. My family, all my family is in São Paulo. My friends, I have, and I have people that works in the government. And now there's a lady. She's
Mm.
gonna represent the woman in one of the city in Brazil, Uberlândia, and
Wow.
all is about autism kids, family that dealing with kids, autism. They feel not sleeping all night. You know, they can't
Mm.
control their emotions.
Oh my.
And
Right.
this is going to be a big, because if I know I'm going to meet with her, I'm going to bring my machine there. She says, I want to one day my son, he never talked to me. He never say mom. He just laughed, because she
Wow.
laughs all the time in her Instagram. So if the son, you know, it's gonna be like a blessing in my downline, and that's why my vision for this world is to touch a lot of kids, most of it, the human beings, God's children, you know,
Yes.
because we all God's children. All God's already sent us the heal and the plants and the, you know, the acupuncture, which is a natural. There's no medication. It's just your points, like you said, your nerve
Absolutely.
organs.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thought of that, isn't it? I mean, just put on a pair of ear clips and it can heal so many things. Who would have thought of that,
Yes.
right?
And you're right. The matrix doesn't want us to know, because we're
No,
here
no, no, no.
considered just the numbers. We're
Absolutely.
guinea pigs. We're guinea pigs among those people. They're evil. And it says in the Bible, they're all gonna vanish, and they start becoming. They're all vanishing. God's standing there. God is in control, I believe.
Yeah. Well, hopefully one day I can go to Brazil. Anyway,
You will. You
enjoy the
will.
fun. Keep on enjoying it, all right, and spreading it. I know nothing can stop you
Yes,
now.
exactly, exactly. And I have the best boss, which is God and Jesus. So
Yes, yes,
with
yeah.
those team, nothing's gonna stop me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic.
Amen.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else with any question? If not, well, it's getting a bit late now. So thank you.
Okay.
Just quick question.
And
Okay, she spoke. Let her speak since I've spoken.
okay, who is that? Oh, I'm hearing a voice. Any more question?
I wanted to ask, I have an aunt who has multiple myeloma with
mhm.
so and she's really in a very bad situation, and it's one of the extra reasons I bought the equipment as well. How often do you recommend that we use which do you recommend we use, the I-Doc or the D178? How
Well,
often do
actually, it's good to have both if you can afford it, right?
Right.
Because the functionality are different. And but if you cannot afford it, then at the very least, at least get the I-Doc. Because this, I-Doc can also heal a lot of problems. But if you combine, assuming, you have a budget for it, then the healing can be very fast. It can be very fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many hours in a day should they use it typically?
For the I-Doc, you can use it up to 1 hour and then you stop and then you use it again twice a day in different points. But each point, the maximum is 15 minutes per session. And then
Okay.
the D178, it has a timer, 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 2 hours
Oh,
straight.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
everything is simple. It's not difficult, right?
All
I
right.
mean,
Right.
I have videos to kind of guide you along, and I'm always around.
Okay. So
Every
the
week.
I-Doc is this twice a day, and the D178 can be used once a day in between.
Yeah, once a day for 2 hours is okay. I believe it's
Okay.
okay. Once a day for
Okay.
2 hours. You can break it into 1 hour, or 2 hours straight. That's fine.
Okay. Is that for both the I-Doc and the D178 or just the D178?
The D178, 2 hours a day. I've
Okay.
known people like in Ghana, amazing. I mean, this Ghana have about eight D178 already. 8D178, right? So it's
Yeah, if it works, people are
it's
going
a
to
work.
buy. Even here in Nigeria, once people see that this thing
Yeah,
is, they're going to place orders. So it's not,
yeah. So
I'm not surprised.
we are going to soon, Reverend Allen to be the Ghana country stockist. So it will be
Mm.
available in Ghana. And we have a Singapore country stockist. The country stockists are coming up we will make the announcement once it's confirmed. Okay. So it's good. I mean, seeing people get healed. Maybe soon, end of the
Yeah,
year, Brazil, in Nigeria, in so many countries in the world, because everyone needs it. That's all I can say. We are all sick, Um, and this thing can really heal, right? You actually you save tons of money, You save tons of money. And
true.
yeah. So guys, if you want to come for training on Thursday, I will talk about the compensation plan, how to do the business and that kind of thing. And we can have Q&A again. Same time, 2 days from now. Okay, guys?
Okay.
So
All right. No
same
problem.
same Zoom link as well, same time, everything the same. All right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Good night.
Good night.